Hello, you poor interwebs. Let me see if we got any. Here we go. Loving the new mugs, but I have no more room. That's so true. There's only so many room for mugs. What is that light doing back there for? Where can I put that that's gonna be more useful? Well, I could just be in front of it. God knows I'm large enough to hide that little light. Uh, wow. Jonathan Leighton Hoggett, how the heck are you? It's good to see you. Kamikaze UK. It's more like Kamikaze USA right now. Sherry Lyons. Hello, Sherry Lyons from Northeast London. Jolly good. I missed that place. Japan. Wow, 7 a.m., Michelle. Thank you for rising at the crack of dawn to come and say hello. Those shipping costs will be the end of me. Yeah, no kidding. Well, and they're going to get worse too, apparently, because we've got all this, tariffs thing happening now. So we'll see what happens. Audio's a bit quiet. Okay. How's that? Is that better? A little better for you? How about that? I don't want to blast anyone's ears off here, but here we go. I'm playing with the microphone right now. There we go. How's that? Almost midnight in Germany. Oh my God, Tina. Get some sleep. Very good. Sleep is very good for you. So another burn to learn. Yep, this is my bit to stay alive and fit long enough to raise my amazing son, who basically is already raised at this point. I mean, I have a feeling there may be a few more things I might need to do, but the kid's already getting acceptance to university and stuff. So the biggest issue now is me trying to figure out what I'm going to do with myself when my son's no longer around. So yes, that, and then of course I'm looking forward to my golden age retiring with my fabulous wife Jane and our wretched dog Huzzah. And let's not forget, the gecko, Lemmy, as I like to call him. Although, what's its actual name? Its actual name is Casper, I think. But anyways, yeah. So things to look forward to, and that's the reason for the exercise. I hate exercise. I hate every second of it. Today, I tried something a little different, and I used Jane's stationary bicycle thing, which was just oh God, it's miserable. It's just we've got the kids here, so my nieces are here, and they've got boyfriends here and stuff, and I was too embarrassed as a sweaty old man to go downstairs and be working out, beside their front door, basically. So I used the machine up here. In the background, you can hear my son screaming and yelling as he plays video games. And yeah, I'm freaking exhausted. Sorry, this is my very low key. This is a very low key burn to learn today. Normally, I come out of here, I'm like, I got the the endorphins running through my system, but today I'm just freaking worn out. And it's been a little chilly too, so it's just general. So what did I do today? Did some football today. I did some football, and but when I say did some football, I mean I actually watched a bunch of football games. You know, I see the interest. I'm just not sure that I'm quite as big a fan. I spent most of the time, honestly, on my laptop playing with new T-shirt design stuff because I've really been enjoying the whole sort of Photoshop, Illustrator, online businessy stuff. It's just been kind of interesting. So yeah, I got that, and then this week I've got another I'm with Genius coming up. I don't remember who I'm speaking to this week, but I've got that coming up. I've got some more escape puzzle stuff that I've been editing together. I was working with the fourth year students up at University of Toronto Scarborough the other day. It was just fantastic. So what other exciting things I have to tell you? Oh my God, we showed the kids. This is a fun one, actually. We showed the kids Reservoir Dogs last night, and it started off, and I'm like, oh my God, this movie looks so dated with all the talking over each other around the restaurant and stuff like that. But oh my God, it was so much fun to show a bunch of 20-year-olds Reservoir Dogs, like what started this whole sort of indie banter movie thing, which I personally think that Tarantino has a lot to answer for, given the number of bad movies I've watched with lots of people just talking over each other the whole time. I'm also, I think today, I don't know if this worked or not, but I think I'm also streaming to Facebook today as well. I'm going to just check this out. Please talk amongst yourselves while I check the socials. First off, let's just make sure that the YouTubles are doing well. There we go. I've been playing with that a little bit. It's been kind of fun. I got my new little Stargate, I'm with Stargate Genius logo up there now, which is kind of fun. Okay, so that looks like it. I am a Stargate Masala burger. I had a Masala burger yesterday, which was a weird choice. I made Jane decide. I said, we went to A&W, and I was like, ooh, Masala burger, that sounds fun. You should try that, I said to Jane. And then I ordered my usual sort of cheeseburgers and, bacon and all that crap. She took like one bite, and she's like, I hated it. So I had that, but I gotta say I kind of liked it. And then of course I did actually have an apple pie as well. So I'm just really, basically, these titles, they come from somewhere. They come from the all of the undoing of the exercise that I do between my burn and learns, which involves masala burgers and apple pies. Um, oh, good. Okay, so I can hear that. Okay, now let's see. I'm really curious to see what this looks like on Facebook because I've never tried that. And can I talk to people on Facebook at the same time? This will be interesting. Um, okay, so I'm going here. I see. What's that little? Oh, that's not working. That looks like a disaster. Manage the page. Do I want to manage the page, or do I just want to go there? No, I just want to go to the page. Here we go. Okay. There's a little red button back there, which I can't quite get to. I can't tell. Is anyone on Facebook? Can anyone see if it's actually streaming or not? It'd be kind of neat to see if it works. I thought it'd be just kind of fun just to open it up to some other channels as well, right? So I've got Twitch going, I've got YouTube going. It would be nice to get Facebook in there, not because I particularly like Facebook, but just because there seems to be a lot of people on Facebook. A lot of my little, hey, there I am. Look at this. I'm right there. I'm on Facebook. I'm famous. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so you can stream to 3 different platforms at the same time. That's pretty great. Oh, and it even put the titles up and everything. Oh, great. Okay, cool. Hello from Oh, there's people saying hi. Oh, they do have the comments. So Facebook is okay, says Marcin. Christopher Connolly, Alexander Shear, Ozan. Hi from Turkey. Is it Turkey or is Kansas? Oh my God, this is wild. Oh, this is neat. How the heck am I gonna get everyone? How am I gonna be able to talk to everyone at the same time though? This is a nightmare. This is okay. So I've got my. If I bring up my. Oh my God! I've got my YouTube chat. There's lots of people talking. Good day, handsome man. Chaos Surveyor. You are too kind. Truly too kind. I love that movie. It's iconic. It is. It's true. Tammy Paquin. Hello, David. I've been seeing your burn alerts. Oh yeah, I've been just doing them. Frankly, I've been doing. I have been. I mean, I know no one's going to believe me, but I have actually been doing some exercise. It's sort of on and off and a little sporadic, not nearly as organized and daily as it should be. But I have been trying to do it. But often, honestly, I just of late haven't. Especially for some reason with the rowing machine, I just don't. I don't have the energy to come and do a chat afterwards. I'm not sure I do after this one either. I apologize for being so low energy after this stupid bicycle thing. But I just wanted to touch base because I realized that I like about once a week now I'm doing these I'm with Genius chats, which I freaking love. I get to research into a topic and then I get to talk to these brilliant people about what they're doing. It's just a great. I look forward to it like every single week, and I have to thank Agni for putting this all together for me, and of course Cal for the hammer when she's on Twitch at the right time. I've been loving doing that, but I don't really get a lot of chance to go sort of back and forth with the chats. So I wanted to make sure that I did that as well, and I'm on sort of a bit of a kick right now because I just feel like. I'm moving into retirement thinking, which is kind of fun. I was sort of doing the math, and I was talking to Jane, and Baz is going off to school, and I started thinking like, well, you know what? I mean, I'm never going to stop acting. There's always going to be acting jobs will pop up. That's always the case. But it'd be nice to not be sort of like constantly worrying about that stuff. And I suddenly went, wait a second, we've saved money. We've got like retirement funds and all this kind of stuff. What if I start sort of, paring back a bit? And, but in doing so, the weird thing is I immediately go like, oh, what can I do? if I'm not doing as much acting, what do I do? And I'm like, well, I really like this little online business thing with the t-shirts and stuff. And I'd love to expand that into some other things. And then there's the online stuff, which I just like. I mean, as I say, this is like therapeutic for me. Like, I truly don't understand why anyone would want to watch an sweaty old Stargate guy complaining about life and his joints and his miserable exercising routine. I have no idea why you're here, but bless you for being here because it's that kind of twisted stuff that makes my life so interesting. So. Yeah, this is what I'm doing now, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to just sort of I don't know. I want to figure it out more. I want to figure out this online thing. I've always, since I read Neuromancer, I've wanted to live online, and there's something about the whole sort of YouTube streaming and just this the whole online existence is really fun to me. It still has a weird kind of novelty to it, even though I know it's been around forever. But I saw it born. I saw it. I saw the internet birthed, and I'm kind of excited that I've been able to sort of witness it. And there's definitely a part of me that wishes I'd been more involved. I dabbled at different times in different things, but I you know, being who I am, focus is always fun. Hello from Vancouver. Hello to you, Alexander. Grumpy old guys. I got a fellow grumpy old guy with Lee Potts Pointer. Very good. Thank you for my wonderful acting in the Stargate series. Thank you very much. It's my favorite series. Wow, it's kind of my favorite series too. So thank you very much. That's great. Oh, you like the movie Cube? Oh yeah, Cube. Phil, I'll tell you something about Cube. I just saw 4K. They did an up-resed version of Cube, so all remastered. The director went in and, you know, tweaked all the colors and stuff, and I think might have even removed like a Coke can from one of the shots, or a coffee cup or something. Probably mine. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not just saying that because I was like 16 at the time or whatever it was, 20 years old. I don't know how old I was in it, but it's amazing how young I look. But it was really fun because I watched it with my son and his best friend, and or one of his many best friends. But Bag of Chips and him have been hanging out for years now, they actually enjoyed it in that they were tense watching it, which I thought was kind of fun. They're like, I'm like, I'm not really dead, right? Because I'm sitting beside you, but there's so you don't have to worry about me dying in the process, so or whatever. But it was just neat to watch, and it's 4K, so it's absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. It's amazing. It holds up surprisingly well. I've seen it now in 4K and I saw the original version of it, I guess last year at a festival, and then came back and saw the 4K version when that got released, just because I wanted to have a look at it. And it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. Hello from Washington State. Oh, I miss it. Monica Lake. Say hi to Washington State. We lived there for years, Washington State. I absolutely love it. Once we get to the 50 mark, we start to slow it down a tad. It's why we work so hard in the early years. Yeah, Sherry Lyons, maybe that's it. The beautiful thing about doing what I do for a living is that it doesn't feel like work. What feels like work to me is getting the work. So I've always said, like, I love acting. I hate being an actor. The being an actor process is just, oh, God, it's miserable. Not as miserable as exercise, I will say, but it's pretty freaking miserable. We're here because you're fun, and not many celebrities like to talk about science. Ooh, really? No, there must be other people talking. There's some great people out there talking science. There's some great science stories, I've got to say, of late. My wife sent me one the other day, which I was cackling about. I'm obsessed with this idea of Mad Mouse, Furry Road. The idea of doing a mouse-based apocalyptic Mad Max movie, which I had always wanted to do, kind of like Tales from the Riverbank, which is this Hammy Hamster series that was up here, which is basically just they fed animals peanut butter and then filmed them in little props, like little cars and things, and it's probably horribly traumatic for the animals, and we'll never be doing that again. But I was always quite fascinated by it, strangely, even into my old age. I've always just quite fancied the idea, the simplicity of this kind of filmmaking. I always sort of joked about the idea of, like, I'd love to do like a Mad Mouse type of film. And now that AI is happening, and now that I'm playing with Unreal Engine and and Blender and stuff, loving all these tools, I've started playing with this idea again and wondering if maybe there's a way to actually maybe do a little short or something. And I've done a little bit of playing around with the AI stuff because I find it absolutely fascinating. I mean, I'm a complete tech optimist. I don't, I tend to take the new technologies and go, wow, imagine this. And then I like many of the people who I guess invent this stuff, don't always think about the negative side of it. I'm sure there are some negative sides to the AI, and I know there's a lot of really, people are very, very divided on this stuff. I mean, even just talking to my friends on our weekly chat online, it's amazing how people are split on how this should be used. I just think it's a tool. I think it's another tool. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think the genie's out of the bottle. We better start using it, and it's nothing without us. I mean, the reality is that it's not. It's what we use it for that is going to make it good or bad, and also using it properly or not using it properly. And I think right now everyone is so enamored with the tool, they're forgetting that it's just a tool. It's the product you deliver at the end that's important. I see a lot of these so-called AI movies, which are basically just clips that they've managed to coerce out of these models and then cut them together and go like, oh look, it's a story. It's not a story. It's not how you tell a story. So I find that very frustrating. My dream would be to do like Mad Mouse Furry Road, and no one would know there was AI involved, because it was just so much fun and it was beautiful, and it was, that the tool is not important. It's the tale you're telling. And in this case, the rat, it's this rats and mice, and there's a lot of tales involved in that. So, worst dad puns ever. I just started accessing again. It's hard. I don't enjoy it, but I enjoy. I missed. Oh God, it moves so fast. Facebook just goes. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, whoever that was, I'm so glad you're exercising. That's good. Yeah, I mean it is miserable starting. It's miserable continuing, and it's miserable stopping. So well, I shouldn't say it's miserable stopping. It's actually quite fun to stop. What is happening with Stargate? Do you know any news at all? I know that it's a huge. Stargate is now a huge AI initiative in the States, which I got kind of a little bit of a thrill out of that Stargate has been co-opted for massive AI investments. Maybe they need like a mascot or something. I'll come in and be an AI mascot of some sort, because I am such a cheerleader for it to some extent. But show wise, no. And I'll be the last person to hear on that stuff anyway. I mean, they'll call me up one day and say like, oh, can we wheel you into this scene? I'll be in the home by then, retired, fishing, or whatever. I don't think fishing is what I'll be doing, but it may be metal detectoring, or what other things do I want to do? Bioteching. Oh, so many things I want to do. I got like, I can't wait to retire, because I'm going to be so busy. It'll be amazing. I'm not sure what different it would be from between now and here, anyways. But to all Patreon members out there, I'm seeing my own. I'm reading my own posts now. I'm so unused to having Facebook whizzing away. You've been following me for 4 years. Oh wow, Shonda, thank you very much. I spent a quarter of a century sitting in front of a computer making 3D graphics for games and simulators. But how much can I do? Oh my gosh. I mean, that is a skill I am very, very jealous of. There's so many things. There's just so many exciting things out there. It's kind of why I've been doing this whole sort of tech bandits and lifelong learning stuff, because I just realize how freaking many cool things there are out there to learn that I don't know about, or that I know a little bit about. And I just want to know more. I mean, I just really sort of enjoy that whole process. It was very sort of inspiring and invigorating to get back onto Tech Talk with Jerry and Ox the other day, again, because it's just so much fun to be talking to people about tech and all that kind of cool stuff. So anyways, I should get Twitch up here too, because I don't want to ignore my wonderful Twitch folks as well. This is the problem with so many platforms. How do people do this? Do you have any advice on how do you manage streams on multiple different channels at the same time? How does one do that? I also want to make sure I'm not streaming on all the channels, because I will probably crash my system, won't I? Wow, it's pretty fast though. Facebook is right on there. Can I pause that? Oh wow, it's way behind. Never mind. Okay, so if I pause it, will it pause the chat as well? Interesting. Apparently, Logan thinks I'm amazing and that I'm one of their favorite actors, which is wonderful. Thank you. I love compliments, by the way. Big fan of compliments. Was there supposed to be a Stargate Atlantis movie after the show ended? Yes, Christopher. Absolutely, there was. Yeah. There was. In fact, we didn't really even say goodbye to each other properly, because we just they were talking about this movie. There was a movie written even. I think Malazzi had a script for it or something, and so we were supposed to do this movie. So it was kind of like, yeah, see you in a bit kind of thing when it all got wrapped up. But that it never happened. So we were like, where's the movie? It was weird. It's like, what is it? You don't burn out, you fade away. There was it definitely felt more like that. So you love this shirt, Justin Barber. Ah, yes. You mean how sweaty it is? It's a city, not a yo-yo. These are the shirts I'm talking about. This is the stuff that I have really, really been enjoying doing, because there aren't a lot of, shall we say, quirky Stargate stuff out there. I guess it's bass practice time, so I apologize for that, but you'll get some wonderful tunes in the background. So this is the kind of stuff I've been doing, is just taking little things that I like, McKay things I want to be reminded about, or that I want to show off, or whatever. And then, of course, use it to actually to maybe make some money at the same time. So yes, I've been doing that, and I welcome you all to go to Canardian.com and check it out. Pick up something for a friend or something. It would be amazing. And I have a little note at the front that just sort of explains why I'm doing this stuff. And I think it's probably going to become more important to me in the near future because the acting world is changing a lot. I'm also changing a lot. I'm weirdly this hair keeps getting very Arctic blonde, and and so there's just there's obviously there's less roles. There's also just less projects going on right now. So I imagine it'll probably be more and more important to have the side hustle working. So working on that. There's a spider on the wall behind you. Is there? I don't mind spiders so much, but yeah, is there? Oh, you know what? They're probably not spiders. They're probably they're picture frame hooks, because there was like Jane had built like a shrine to our son behind us. All these photos of him as a child, and I suddenly went, oh my God, I'm streaming all the time with all these photos of Baz as a child. If I was a teenager, I would be mortified. So I've taken them all down. He probably just thinks I don't love him, but great in Shape of Water. Oh, thank you. Shape of Water was so much fun. From Portugal. Thank you, Aaron. And thank you, Anna, for saying hello from Portugal. This is the nice thing about Facebook, I got to say, is that the quite a selection of places people are from. Let's have a look at Twitch and say hello to that. I dare you to say it like McKay did. It's a city, not a yo-yo. It's a city, not a yo-yo. I don't know how I said it. I only got on Twitch 2 years ago. Well, Christian, Twitch is a weird one because I don't really understand it, but I kind of love it. It was my first introduction to streaming, and my son got me into it. I just weirdly took to it like a duck to water. I enjoy the immediacy of it. I guess maybe it's kind of like a little bit like, it's like having your own radio show, or I guess it's video, so your own little sort of cable news show or something, which I just love. So, hail Dave and the Bandits. Thank you very much, Holcron. Freckle Dawn, I should say hi to my folks on Twitch. It's been way too long. Deadly Citrus, wonderful. I had the Facebook going with Twitch simultaneously. Very cool. It's kind of neat, isn't it? I'm sorry. This is where I'm an old nerd, where I go like, oh my God, I'm sitting on the top floor of my house, spitting. I'm sitting on the top floor of my house. I have just exercised, which is miserable. And now as a reward, I get my own TV show. I get to stream to Twitch, to YouTube, and now Facebook as well. And there's just something very cool about it, and I'm very excited about that. So hopefully I can make this more of a regular thing. Dead Pixel. Severance reminds me of a Modern Brazil, but as a series. I loved Severance. Dead Pixel. I watched first season. I think I might go back and watch it again because I think I'm going to need a refresher because it's been a while. And I'm not watching any of Severance until all of the Severance is there because I don't want to wait. I hate waiting. I learned this from watching Batman as a child when I came home from school. If it said tune in next time, next Bat channel, you got to wait like a freaking day, and I couldn't do that as a kid, and I certainly can't do it now. So I love the moment I realized I've seen you first on Cube. Oh, Stevie Flash, yeah, Cube. That's there is no way out of here. I should do a Cube shirt too, actually. Yeah, 4K Cube. So Christian, hello. Dead Pixel, hello. Paper clips. Have to say it's more fun existing online when you're not restricted and living offline, though. Yes, yeah, that's true. Paper clips, I'm sure. Deadly Citrus is in Victoria, BC, and is in fact a Deadly Citrus. Lex Lyon, hello. Ang Bennett. Max Gray 99. I remember seeing you in the movie Nothing. Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it? That was when we came up with my friends and I came up with it was Vincenzo and Andrew Miller and myself. We're trying to come up with an idea that we could do very cheaply because we thought Cube had failed miserably. It hadn't come out in France and Japan and stuff yet, where it sort of took off. So we're trying to make this tiny little movie for as cheap as possible. We thought, what a great idea. We rent a studio and pretend everything's gone. So that was the original plan. And then so we came up with this idea, and then Andrew went off and wrote the script. And it's just the strangest little movie. I'll tell you one of the funniest things. I don't know if it's still available, but there was a DVD that came out that had our original. So we did a previs before the days of previs. Basically, we had a little video camera, a little handy cam, which back then was probably like an 8mm tape or something, and we just filmed the film. We filmed the script, just Andrew and I doing the script. With just cheesy bad effects and stuff. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because it's like, there's a lot of visual effects in the movie. We did all of them in camera in a previous thing with like bad video effects and stuff. And it was freaking hilarious. And then the movie itself is it's just bizarre. I saw it again recently. I got to say, I struggle with it. I really struggle. Because I just feel like we thought we were so funny. And it feels, should we say, youthfully jubilant, shall we say. But people love it. People come up about and ask me about nothing all the time. So thank you for that. Who else? Rainstorm Fur. Now, I'm imagining Stargate Atlantis, but they are all mice. Ooh, I like that too. What would that be? Stargate Atlantis only with mice. Definitely not a Luddite. I am not a Luddite. Although they're saying that the definition for Luddite is actually incorrect. That the concern with the Luddites was not the technology, it was the children being rendered limb from limb by these machines. It was more about a safety and a social thing than it was a fear of technology. But I could be wrong. But yes, I am not a Luddite. I am probably to a fault a lover of technology. That's for sure. Mice on Atlantis. Way to give McKay a heart attack. It's true. Unpronounceable. That's it. That's right, Rains. Mice Cree. Oh yeah, you could put little things on their foreheads. Oh, it'd be pretty neat actually. Excuse me. Hey, shoo! Oh, dearie me. Gesundheit. That is, I blame my dog for that. AI isn't even a tool. It's a marketing term that's currently being used to promote a particular version of the future. It's never been used to describe a specific set of tech. Yeah, it's a generalization, absolutely. But I gotta say, I freaking love it for programming. It's amazing. I've been playing with it with Python. And I even played with some video editing with it. I actually had, I was working on this Python program and working with back and forth with ChatGPT, getting it, how do I do this, how do I do that, and I'm cutting and pasting and putting stuff together. And eventually I ended up with this little Python program that takes a video and transcribes it all to a text file. And then it opens the text file, and you can highlight whatever you want in the text file, and it spits out that as the video clip. Like, it just basically trims out that little section of the big video for just that sentence. And oh my God, it was so much fun. Now what I want to do is I'd love to be able to say to it, like, every reference to, exercise, let's say, I want you to clip that section. So there's a lot of really fun stuff you can play with it. Again, tool. I still have to decide what I would like out of these things. I'm still just basically having it do some of the legwork for me. I think just, the idea of sort of letting it run and walking away is kind of terrifying. And I think in the financial markets, that's where you're going to find some pretty terrifying uses of it. But yeah, I agree, Elizabeth. It's definitely, it's basically, we've gone from like the .com boom to the crypto bros. And now we've got the AI, the AI losers now. I mean, it's like, sorry, not AI losers is the wrong word, but this just seems to be like it's a tech bro thing. I think there's a tech bro thing where everyone's like, what's the next big thing that I'm going to make a ton of money on without actually having to do a lot of work? And I feel that like crypto, AI has been sort of sucked up by that. That the black hole, the void that was created after all the crypto crash stuff is now being sort of sucked full of AI stuff. And a bunch of sort of charlatans selling snake oil again as well. But then again, I say that. I mean, some of the cryptocurrencies are up again now too, right? It's a weird topsy-turvy world right now. I think everyone knows my opinion of the orange, the orange beast. Yeah, not a huge fan. It's weird though. I mean, I keep looking for positives. Like, I keep looking for things like, well, they're talking about getting rid of the penny. Like, that seems smart to me. Like, why are we walking around with stupid heavy coins that cost 3 times more the actual cent? So, like, a penny costs 3 cents to do. They want to get rid of that. That's freaking great. I'm fine. I'm totally fine with that. But this weird kind of almost like it feels like, it's like, it's president, not king, right? We know that's the situation. And then, of course, now we've got tariffs against Canada, which, of course, as a Canadian and an American and a Brit, I have some issues with that as well. Anyways, fishing like Jack O'Neill. If I was fishing, it would probably be. If I was fishing, it would probably be electronic fishing. Oh no, you know what I would be doing? This is something I want to do this summer. Actually, magnet fishing. Have you seen that? You need to get a giant freaking magnet. You hurl it out into a lake and you pull back gold and treasures. Well, not gold because it's not going to work. But yeah, you can. I've seen all these videos of people bringing up old bikes and even firearms and stuff. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun to actually. I'd rather instead of using a magnet, I would love to have a little submersible that you could that could just tool around on the bottom, finding old iPhones and stuff. And that would be, oh my God, that's like treasure hunting shit. I'd love to do that. There you go. Add it to my list of things I want to do. Go buy a lot of T-shirts because those submarines aren't cheap. Anyways, I think I chose wrong example, says Christiane. What did you for what? Any FedCon news? Anxiously waiting for your announcement. Oh, Freckle Dawn. I've not heard anything. Honestly, nothing. If anyone knows anyone at FedCon and wants to give them a poke, then please let me know. Or let them know that I'd love to get back there. I miss my Germany. It's a wonderful place. I really enjoyed that. I prefer Twitch chat because I don't know if my messages goes through on YouTube. Oh, that's interesting. I'm probably just worse at responding to the YouTube ones. I feel like, okay, all right. I'm putting this question out to everyone. Is there? Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. Hey, Twitch. I freaking love this. What do I do? Is there some kind of a platform that will combine all of these things together and show me where they're coming from? Oh, wait, hold on. I may have that platform. Does this work? It says multi-stream, stream chat. Oh my God. Oh, I've got it. Oh, this is awesome. Excuse me as I burp into the microphone. But it's all Facebook though. It's not everyone else. It's just Facebook. Oh no, that's Twitch. Oh my God. Oh, so there is something here. Oh, this is great. Oh my God. Okay. Happiness is clicking something new in the window. So I've got this Streamlabs thing, which I know I'm not supposed to have Streamlabs. They're jerks and all the rest of it, but it works really well. So I've been going with it. So now I've got a multi-stream chat that I can look at. Oh, this is fantastic. Christiane's never streamed. I advise it. I find it therapeutic. I don't care if there's 2 people or 2,000. It's really, really fun. And it's a bit like a diary. I mean, I think it's a bit diary-like in its approach. Look at you guys. You've cheered me up and woken me up as well. I'm feeling good. It's all that endorphins burning through my system. I should talk about what my burn was and what my learn was. The burn was just 20 minutes. Kind of shameful, but my legs could not take more than 20 minutes on that damn bike. I don't know how my wife does it. And the learning stuff recently is a lot of Unreal Engine. I was looking at Unreal Engine. This is how to work character rigs. So so you bring in these things called meshes, which let's say it's a 3D version of me. You then have to put a skeletal system in those sort of shapes, mushy shapes, specifically in my case too. You put in this sort of armature, and then you can animate the armature and make it move the way you want it to move. So yeah, I've been playing with that. So I've been watching a bunch of tutorials on that. And then one of my guilty pleasures, I call it my business porn, because I love watching videos and listening to podcasts about side hustles and Pat Flynn, and I was fascinated to hear all about. He's got this new thing called Deep Pocket Monster, which is his. He got into Pokemon just before the rush, I guess, and started doing a bunch of these videos, but applying all of his sort of business know-how to the Pokemon space, which is just fascinating to me. Again, I'm always looking. This is the problem with being an actor, and the reason why I am an actor. I am an actor because by the end of a sentence, I've changed what I want to be when I grow up, And I remember as a kid in high school, and high school was a huge problem for me. I did not finish high school. I do not have my high school diploma. I am ashamed of that to some extent, but I will say this. I never stopped learning. I loved learning. Even when I was failing at school, I still loved reading the books and getting lost in the poetry and the Shakespeare and the computer programming, and I loved it all. I just hated school. Just hated the whole structure of it. I was miserable in that. I remember my granddad saying, "They'll tell you school are the best years of your life. They lie." That's what my granddad said. Of course, he was a freaking famous surgeon and stuff. So, anyways, so I was terrible at school, hated school. But as I say, I was always just trying to learn new stuff. And of course, once computers took off, that was my window into a whole other world. But the reason I became an actor was because I just being interested in everything makes you basically bad at everything. But what I found I was good at and what I could focus on was things like learning massive amounts of lines and pretending to be other people. And I just love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, I will complain about acting till the day I die because being an actor is just the stupidest job on the planet. But boy, I do love doing it. I feel like a kid every time. I had an audition the other day, and I was complaining. I don't want to do it. I'm not right for it. This is stupid, blah, 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 blah. Then I sat down, set up the camera, my fabulous son, who was very begrudgingly reading the off-camera lines, and, and I'm pretending to be like some artificial intelligence, this ancient artificial intelligence for some film, which I'm sure I won't get. But, the reality is I really enjoy doing it. There's just something really, really fun about it. It's make-believe. Like, it's fantastic. Anyways, Nixie's on a laptop, and I find that Twitch overheats it too much, so I stick to YouTube. Really? I had no idea that Twitch would cause that much of an issue. That's bizarre. Premium incoming. What are you? Premium incoming. Baby Ronan. Baby Ronan. Oh, that's cute. I love watching streams, says Mustang. What else we got here? Gimpy G. How are you, Gimpy G? Good to see you. I missed you on Friday. I went to see what was it called? David Gray. I didn't take my wife. My wife took me to a concert on Friday, which is very unlike me. I don't like to leave the house. And we went to Massey Hall and we saw David Gray because David Gray was the oh my God, this is so cheesy. But when Jane and I first met, that was one of his albums was very sort of near and dear to us, and we had it on repeat on our CD player or Jane's CD player. I couldn't afford a CD player, so for Christmas she got me tickets for this concert. It was it's just lovely. I mean, it's perfect for me because it's just depressing music, and that's all. I only ever listen to depressing music. I don't seem to be like all of my musical tastes. The only time I actually used to buy albums, or the only time I seem to add things to my playlist is when I'm feeling miserable. So every year they do that Spotify thing and they sort of explain what type of person you are. And I'm like a teenage girl. I'm like a depressed teenage girl. That's basically how I'm identified by the algorithms. Come to Albuquerque's Duke City Comic-Con. That sounds cool. Leah, I'll be there in a second. Just like I say, if people know about these things and you think I should go, just ask them. Like literally send them an email or I'd love to find out about it. And I have an email, davidihewlett@gmail.com, which is my internet facing email. I am total shit at responding to it. I apologize. I'm terrible. How bad? But you can ask Jane. I'm also terrible at responding to her as well. But because as always, as soon as I sit down with the computer, there's way too many distractions. But yeah, if someone wants to get me in touch about that or anything else for that matter, please feel free. I mean, as I say, I will say off the bat, I am terrible at responding. I may never respond because there's sometimes it's just too much. But when it comes to the convention stuff, I really, it's what a great excuse to travel around the world. I mean, it's just fantastic. So yeah, happy to do that. But can it snap like Dr. McKay? Yeah, the snapping is getting harder. I think I'm getting arthritic. So the snapping it's a little difficult now. We need a horde mode game, fighting replicators, endless hordes, and bosses are human versions. Nocturne. You know what's funny is one of my tutorial things for the course was to create a tower defense game. And what is the first thing I did? Was I imported an image of Atlantis and started trying to create one with Wraith. I couldn't get the ships. I got to get the ships to point in the right direction because I had these little 3D models, wonderful things that were done by is it Martin? I think it's Martin out in Prague, who's done these wonderful 3D models, and I imported them into it and was doing this tower defense game where you just have these wraith would just try to attack the center of the city, and I thought how much fun it would be to actually have that as a real game, but it's terrible, and I did it just enough to get it a pass on it to move on to the next section, but I was having a lot of fun with that. I really should play with that again. You are an actor, but here you are yourself. I tell you, no 3D puppet controlled by motion capture will surpass this. Alex, thank you very much. Here's the thing, though. I mean, there's a wonderful quote that really sticks with me about AI, and it was someone, amazing woman, who I don't know, but this quote really stuck with me, which was, "I want my AI to do the dishes and the laundry, not my art and my music." I mean, because that's what we're here for. I don't care how good any of these things get at art or pretending to be us or doing these chats or, AI acting or whatever. There's, I want to see human creations. Actually, if you go to the shop, I started playing around with these shirts. I started off on the first ones I called them were organic intelligence. The idea is it's just a little logo thing, but it's basically saying like organic intelligence. I'm an organic intelligence, and that's, and I'm proud of that, and I want to be that, and I think that's always going to be important. And then I started playing another one. I've now got one called human intelligence, which is kind of a little different design and stuff. But again, I just playing with this idea, this message that I feel like, we need the humans attached to this stuff. Not because we'll get left behind, but because that's why we're here. Like, we're here to make things, to create things, to experience things. I don't care how they're created, but I just don't think they're ever going to be replaced for that. I mean, you get a robot to paint a painting, then fantastic. There's something very neat about that, and I see the appeal of that. But again, to me, the art in that is the person who created that process, who said, "I want to make a robot that does art." That's the human art. You know what I mean? It's not the painting. It's the person who thought up this crazy idea to do this. And I think that that's what I revel in. I mean, that's what I've done a lot of acting to green screens and to tennis balls and stuff like that. And sometimes that's an improvement on the actors you have to work with. That is not a Stargate comment, by the way. I love those guys. They're fantastic. Absolutely adore them. But there's so we do a lot of acting, very unrealistic, unnatural things on set. Boy, it sounds horrible, isn't it? We do strange things on set to make a scene work, especially when it's dealing with VFX and stuff like that. So there's obviously there's trickery involved in this stuff anyways, but I still want to see a human doing that. Like I feel like even if it was just as good as me, I want the mistakes. You know what I mean? To me, one of the wonderful things about making films and being in films and watching films, it are those happy accidents, those things that were not planned, but that ended up in the movie because that's just what happened. Someone tripped, someone stumbled on a line, somebody forgot their lines. Those are the things that are just wonderful and innately human, if that makes sense. So anyways, you've been annoying the FedCon account since forever, says Tina. Well, thank you very much, Tina. I don't have to check I just checked this chat. That's right. All right. Focus, David. I love to learn still. The world, the science of who, what, why is thrilling. More I learn, more I realize how much I don't know. I mean, that's the funny thing is one of the common denominators with speaking to all of these wonderful people on I'm with Genius, or I'm with Stargate Genius, as Agne tells me I have to say. She raises a really good point. She's like, you got to get Stargate in there. There's otherwise, what's the point of having had the show if you're not going to tell people that the guy from that is anyway. So I'm with Stargate Genius. The beautiful thing is that having played brilliant on television, despite being a high school dropout, this has allowed me to talk to people who are actually doing this stuff, who are the real scientists, the real astronomers, the real cosmologists, and AI programmers and such. I mean, just amazing bunch of people, and I feel incredibly lucky, and there's no way I'm missing this opportunity. So I'm like, great, yep, you like Stargate? Perfect, let's talk science. That's basically how I go with that, you know. Nixie, one solution for Twitch I think might be using something called Streamlink with VLC, but it's not the easiest thing to set up. Oh, Nixie, do you mean like streaming or watching streaming? That's interesting. I'm using Streamlabs, and I've got to say I've heard that they ripped off OBS or something, but maybe they did, and I feel bad about that. But at the same time, I've just found this a very easy platform to use. For an old man like me. Rebel Time Lady, how is everyone doing? Much better now, Rebel Time Lady, because you're here. I Nocturne, oh, that's cool. I would help if I was good at scripting. I only know the cinematic aspect. This is what's neat about it. I think I'm really looking forward to this, to combining the AI stuff with the existing sort of game engine stuff, and human ideas, you know? Mad Mouse, Furry Road. I'm sure you know what, a computer can come up with that. But I just, it's silly fun, and I think I want to make it. Like, that's the fun thing about it, right? You don't make movies. Well, I suppose you do sometimes. I guess make movies and to make money and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I guess it is a job, I suppose. And if you can make that job more efficient, then I suppose that's useful too. But at the same time, the whole point is you want that joy of doing it, right? I mean, like, I want the joy of, if I can use these tools to get these ideas in my head out there. I've talked about this with Lance, with Gimpy G. We're gonna be doing some chatting. Is it tomorrow, Lance? I can't remember. We got a chat coming up, where we're going to be talking about AI and using these generative tools, these text to video tools and VFX and stuff, because for someone like Lance, what a great opportunity to get all those crazy. I'm a little nervous about what's going to come out of that head of his, but all of his amazing ideas, which are more difficult to get out if you don't have the same kind of movement that many of us have. These tools can allow that to happen in a way that just wouldn't happen for people with disabilities before that. So, all right. Ever considered becoming a university student? Some universities give discounts for adult learners. It's interesting. Twitch guy too. This is something actually that Lance and Gimpy G's been bugging me about, because he's saying, like, he wants me to go back to school, and he'd help me through all the stuff and stuff. I would like to go. I very very much like to go to university. I'd very much like to do that. I think I would love it. But I also I bristle at the idea of the control. Like, I think one of my biggest issues is I want to be able to I want to follow my own paths with this stuff. I've always done that. But that said, I do take a lot of courses. Actually, it's one of my funny things that happened. I was looking for, we're talking about, like, the future and whether retirement meant I should get a job. Actually, I'll tell you, one of the jobs I looked at, there's a company here that does trading cards. It's sort of a franchise here. They had a job for someone whose job was to organize Pokemon cards and help with the grading and classifying them and organizing them, and it's all backroom stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I want that job. So my son and my wife are like, David, you can't get a minimum wage full-time job doing Pokemon cards. I'm like, well, why not? And they're like, well, because what are you going to do if you get an acting job and stuff? You can't, I'm like, stupid, real grown-up stuff. But how much fun would that be? Like, just doing Pokemon card and Magic cards and stuff, like opening packs and organizing them and stuff. Like, for me, that'd be so much fun. Anyways, there was a point. I've lost it. It's Atlantis, not an abstract representation of a snowflake. That's true. I want Rosie the maid, not ChatGPT. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not, well, I will say this. I want them both. I've got this Google phone for the first time. I've had a Google tablet before, which I liked, a Nexus one. Just to play with it and with Android. This time, I got this one because the iPhone was just so expensive, and I just felt like, oh, these freaking freaking companies are they're tearing my soul out. So I thought instead of what did I say? What did I say? Instead of the shackles of Apple, I've gone to the yoke of Google instead. So basically, I've just gone from one monopoly to another. But I'm really enjoying Android. I've got to say, maybe it's just because I'm a nerd and I like changing it up a bit. But do you ever keep in touch with Jason Momoa or Joe Flanagan? I know Joe and him recently did a Guinness commercial lately. Didn't you love that ad? I freaking loved it. I mean, I don't keep in touch with Jason just because Jason just operates at a whole other level now. I would love to see him. I saw him in Basingstoke, I guess last year, and it was just, God, I freaking love that guy. And of course, I did the C show with him. It was entirely him. He was very charming and loyal, and basically saw a role and went, "That's Hewlett," and we're like, "That's Hewlett," and then so that happened. So yeah, I see and say hi to him whenever I can. Joe, I check in on every so often, make sure he's all right, especially with all these fires and stuff. I worry about him and my other friends down there, so I check in on them. But and then Rachel, I saw Rachel when she was here. I see them whenever I can. They really are. They're good people. And it was so long ago, but I'm amazed how little they change. I think I'm aging for all of them. I think I might be their portrait of Dorian Gray, right? They're Dorian Gray out there looking fantastic for the world. I am aging for all of them. That's my process. And speaking of which, speaking of aging, I should. Oh my God, there's so many. Sorry, Guillermo, I gotta go catch them all. Catch them all. I was just gonna wrap up, but I realized I've missed a lot of chats. I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody. Anyways. Leon, how is Ursula? She's stuck in a plastic nightmare. If only we had a pin. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Pin was the first real movie I did. And it was fantastic. Oh, loved it. Horror film. And it's become like a bit of a cult classic around here. And there was talk of doing another one. I actually had an idea for how to do a sequel. Like I had I think kind of a fun concept to play with. You know what? I think that's a possibility. I think there's a strong possibility that someone's going to make that happen because unlike Stargate, where there's just a million different people involved, and I don't even know who's got the rights to this, that, there. I mean, this, it's crazy. I think a big part of the reason why we don't have another Stargate show is because of just the rights issues and bought and sold and all the rest of it. But Pin, I imagine, is probably a little easier to track that down and make happen. So I really hope that would be amazing if we could get that going. I was already a huge Stargate fan 20 years ago, and I still watch it today. Now with my kids, I know it is amazing how the show still holds up after all these years. No Desh Pro. I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I loved about the show was that. You'd see the odd sort of solitary nerd like myself. But for the most part, you'd see families, so you'd have mom, dad, grandma, and I. It's neat seeing kids who weren't alive basically when the show first aired. Is that right? Is that possible? Well, certainly we're too young to remember. It's getting depressing how many people come up to me and say, I used to watch your show when I was a little kid with my parents. Anyways, my microphone looks like a ZPM, doesn't it? It's pretty good, huh? That's my son's choice. I love it. I could get like a ZPM, spit guard, or whatever it's called, or pop guard for it. Going to school where there is control, I'd say, is a personal challenge to allow myself to be controlled. Huh, interesting. McKay and Zelenka card shop. There you go. Oh my God. I would love to have. I always wanted a comic book and trading card store like Kevin Smith has. God, that'd be so much fun. Except I'd never get out of there, and I'd lose all the money because I wouldn't want to sell anything. That's the other problem. So, okay, what do we got? Zelenka. Wow, the arguments. Great choice. Yeah, can you imagine trying to run a job with that? When can we expect the Hewlett comic book store? Yes, that's it, Geneva. How great would that be? I'd love to do that. Maybe I start an online one, and then if that does any good, I'd have to learn some grammar first. If that does at all well, maybe it could expand into an actual, real world one. That might be a way to approach it, I suppose. I don't know how all that works. I have to figure out. I did apply. I will say this. I did apply to be a Pokemon distributor in Canada because I thought that'd be kind of fun if that would happen. I think it's much more stringent than I don't think they would let me do that. But he has anxiety. I think about getting detention and then missing out on lunch. Not wrong, Lance. It's Kim PG. I can argue that down the pub now. There you go for it. You should get Joe one for the same old thing. Dr. McKay says Android is better. Sorry, Guillermo, got to catch them all. We're tuning in. All right, I love my Pixel. I just wish I had the scratch to upgrade to a newer one. Yeah, Rebel Time Lady, I've got the 9, and I got the 9 XL, so I spent a little bit of money. I think it's like $20 a month or something instead of $72 for the equivalent Apple. But the non-XL was free for me. I mean, if I wanted it, I could have got the smaller one, and it was free because Google wants to own everything and know everything about you, basically. And I guess I've given it. Have you tried role playing? On the one we play, my character's future husband is McKay. Sylvia, that's great. I did. Yeah, I mean, I used to do D&D stuff when I was a kid. Although I was such a solitary nerd that I used to play by myself with the Commodore 64. I used to get it to do random numbers and generate things for me. But yeah, it's a funny one. I have done it. I do enjoy it. The biggest issue I have with it is the number of people involved. And I am such a last second person on these things. Like I just like to go live when I feel like it, as you probably can tell by my random streams. And my organization skills for getting everyone together to do that sucks. So maybe that's something we can organize. I know who's amazing at it is James R. Gurney, who's in our chat here. He's like a dungeon master extraordinaire and was fantastic with my Tech Bandits kids when we had them together playing. So I don't know, maybe if he's into that, maybe there's something we could do there. But I really enjoyed the is it Wyvern Gaming, the people who did they did a Stargate RPG game, which is basically 5th edition's D&D rule set used, but with a Stargate sort of storyline. It was pre-McKay, and it was fun. It's really fun. I played a couple of them, I think, just to sort of help them out to start. And in fact, they were supposed to get me a copy of their book now I think about it, and they still haven't done that. Got to bug Wyvern Gaming about that. Maybe I'll bug Wyvern Gaming and saying, "Hey, give me that book, and I'll do another live stream with of a Stargate game." Was it I using a forced? Oh, really? You've got the wow. Well, Rebel, if it's still working, don't change the phone. I wouldn't look. I didn't want to change the phone that I had. I had this wonderful Apple. It was the Apple Pro Max. No, it was just the Apple Pro. Yeah, it was just it was the Apple Pro. I was like, you know what? I don't need a new phone. Jane, let's just renew the one we've got. And they wanted $625 for me to do that. And I was like, are you freaking nuts? No way. And then I went and looking at the new Apples, and I was like, forget it. Now as a result, it's like I've cut off my nose to spite my face because I can't communicate with most of my family now because they're all on Apple. But anyways, hello, Shannon, Elizabeth. Hello, Alec Lucas Sound says, thanks for the chat today. Good night, because it's after midnight here. I have to sleep. You worked in 6 hours. My God, Alex, get the hell out of here. I forgot to say that my currently 31-year-old daughter is also a Stargate fan. We watch Stargate together. Warmest regards, D. Alex, thank you so much. Sleep well, buddy. Enjoy. Have a good sleep. And on that note, I think I should probably get myself ready for some dinner and an early night myself, because my son has to go to school tomorrow. And that is, it's always a little earlier than I like. How do we get you to Motor City? Oh, Motor City Comic-Con. You ask them. You request me. You email and say, hey, get that Hewlett guy. He looks good sweaty. Phone them up and let them know. Oh, that's, there you go. Cal's answering for me. Cal, it's like you're in my head. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Cal, the wonderful Cal. Cal Rear is my hammer, my shield. And she's fabulous about keeping everyone in line. So don't cross her. She scares me too. How are you feeling, by the way, Cal? You better? Help get me out of here. It's hollow and ancient. And how are you feeling, Cal? Cal, I won't. Maybe Cal doesn't want me sharing the intimate stories of her life, but let's just say we're very lucky to have Cal with us still, by the sound of it. So Huge love to her just because it embarrasses the crap out of her. I'm fine. No car can take me down. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like what, generally it's not a good idea to tangle with the cars unless you're in a car yourself or a bulldozer. All right. Love your humor, outlook, and honesty. It's great you to take time for us people. 50%. I do this for me. Thank you. That's very kind of you to assume that I'm being nice, but I'm really not. I'm just being entirely selfish. I enjoy this. This is my reward for my wretched exercise. So, well done, Cal, for being an awesome human and Hewlett wrangler. Nixie, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Paperclips. There's a guest request on their website. Oh, wow. Okay. What I should really do is put together a database of all of the conventions, and then we should all decide on which ones I should go to, and then we'll just like submit en masse. And I'll get in touch with them at the same time and say, look, I've got this many people coming. Do you want me to come? Something like that. Must be your birthday. Happy birthday to Cal. She loves that too. Okay, I'm out of here. All right, you fabulous people. I think I'm gonna try, unless anyone thinks there's been any issues with it. I think I'm going to try doing my I'm with Genius on all three platforms as well. Because last time I just did YouTube and Twitch. So Wednesday, I think I'll do YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Because this is great, especially now I've got the multi-stream thing. I can actually see what's going on. McKay going global. Hand pink waving. Is that like instead of an emoji? You just say that? Is that cool now? 11 p.m. in the UK. Tokra. That's past my bedtime, that's for sure. Full-time job. Hello to you. Aquiitis. Woohoo. Oh, he's freaking timing. Of course. Timing me as I leave. I forgot about that. How are you, Ank? Aquiitis will point out that I'm really, really bad at saying goodbye. I have like these very, very long goodbyes. And, and everyone hates them so much. Everyone loves it. This is really fun. Oh, I'm so glad. Christopher, well, come back. It's fun. OnlyFans after OnlyFans, yeah. But I have to wear like no socks or something, don't I? Isn't OnlyFans all about feet or something like that? Some of the kids were telling me about this. Multi-stream is such a good tool. I know, it really is. It's great. Do you like people making video fan edits of you asking for myself? I like people being creative. I mean, if people want to cut stuff together, that's fantastic. I don't know why they want to do it of me, but yeah, for sure. At some point I should go through some of these things and pull out some clips and stuff, because I know that that's all socially media smart and all that kind of stuff, which I'm just not. So I'm ridiculously bad for a shameful self-promoter. I'm terribly bad at it. What's that? It was Kirak Craft. Show me this footies. That's creepy. You creepy people. Okay, creepy people. It's been fun. Thank you so much for basically knocking me out of my reverie. I felt really bad. I started and I felt like I was really low energy and I wasn't enjoying. I was not enjoying myself, but I felt like I was struggling. And this has been wonderful. Thank you. All right. Talk to you later. As I say, if you do want to help out with the t-shirt, please do. There's a bunch of them out there. They're on Canardian.com. Actually, I guess I could put a link in. Could I enter the chat message? I could do this. Canardian.com. There you go. That should, I think now that I fixed it. Did it go through? Oh, I guess it didn't go through as a link. All right, here we go. I have to try this. Let me do this. Canardian. Nope, spelled it wrong. Well done, David. Canardian.com. There you go. Again, you don't have to. It's just that's if you feel like it and you like it, or you think of someone who might want one of them, then let me know. All right. Thank you all. I will say.